going on, NBA fanatics? This is your friendly neighborhood Memphis Grizzly homer, Memphis X, and I Talk Hoops. If this is your first time listening to this is going to be a reaction to the win last night by the Memphis Grizzlies over the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I would like for you to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share it with other NBA fans around the universe, because I'm trying to get this channel up to 1,000 subscribers by the new season kicking up in October. So we got a lot of time, but I want you to get in there now, subscribe to this channel so we can get down and discuss some Memphis Grizzlies basketball.
Piano.
Grizz gang, go hard. Baddest in the game, we be on one. I talk hoops, so secure. All up on the court, but we gon' score. Memphis bringing heat straight from Tennessee.
I tell you what, it feels a lot better today than it did after game one. Took a couple days to wait for this game to go down, but it was well worth the wait. FedEx Forum was rocking. Whoop That Trick was rocking. The team was rocking, and the bench played like the best bench in the NBA as it has done all season. And I like to tell you that I had a lot of questions going into game two, a lot of questions, and most of my questions have centered around Coach Taylor Jenkins. Now, I've had my relationship with Coach Taylor Jenkins as far as a fan of the Memphis Grizzlies, and I'd like to tell you, I haven't always had a positive outlook on Coach Jenkins. I haven't. I've always questioned his rotation, questioned the players he plays, questioned some of the decisions he makes with, playing time among the players. But it was somebody who said that, coaches develop too. Sometimes you got to wait for the coaches to develop. Coach Taylor Jenkins, this is his first job. He's a young coach, so it was good to be patient because, really, we didn't have any choice but to be patient. And what made being patient easy, even when you disagree with some of the things that he was doing, what made being patient easy is the team was bought into him, and the team was winning more than it should have with the talent and the age of the roster. So patience was easy with Coach Jenkins. But what happened in game two versus Minnesota might be his coming out party to all his skeptics. I'm not going to say it was luck, and I'm not going to say he lucked into it like Coach Finch did. I'm not going to say that because I don't believe that at all. Coach Jenkins has proven to be a stubborn person when he believes in something. So I'm not going to say this was luck. If you remember the end of game one, when the Grizzlies were trying to make a run, this was in the works. Now, a coach of a team that had the second most wins in the NBA, it's a hard decision to abandon your starting lineup the second game of the playoffs. I think that was a bridge too far for fans' expectations to expect him to abandon his starting lineup from a team that won 56 games, was the second best team in the NBA that was winning. Just because we lost game one of the playoffs at home, we're supposed to abandon the starting lineup? Especially without proof of concept. Now, the basketball gods answered our prayers. Steven Adams got in early foul trouble and was pulled after 2 minutes and 50 seconds. In a funky start to a basketball game where the refs were trying to see how and who could blow their whistle the most and the loudest and for the most just innocuous stuff. But Steven Adams went out, and our guy from Gonzaga, I apologize, Zag fans, Brandon Clark came into the game, and you just knew things were going to change. And I'm going to tell you why you knew things were going to change, because you saw the seeds of this in game one. But the problem in game one was the Grizzlies have been off a while. The Grizzlies hadn't played in a while. And the Grizzlies had gotten so far behind, and they were playing from behind the whole game. And Minnesota had gotten their rhythm. They had gotten their confidence up. And Anthony Edwards had decided to do a Michael Jordan impersonation against the Grizzlies. So that was a hard team. That was a hard thing to come back from. But you got to remember, in game one, even though they were down double figures, the Grizzlies came back. They just ran out of gas. And the problem came in when Jenkins tried to reinsert Steven Adams on the slick tip. Tried to put him back in on the slick tip in game one when the Grizzlies were making a run. And it kind of disrupted things. And I'm going to tell you what, like I said after in the review of game one, Steven Adams gave Minnesota a place to attack. He gave them a soft spot to attack at all times, a place to always find a bucket. Now, when you take out Steven Adams and you go with Brandon Clark, Xavier Tillman, when you start Kyle Anderson in the second half at power forward and put him on Karl Anthony Towns, which is what I asked for. When that happens, you know Coach Jenkins is in his bag at that point. He's in his bag at that point. So, yes, the moves were excellent. The funky start, be damned. The Grizzlies got their groove back. Ja started hitting step-back jumpers. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Now, the only thing that made the night, underwhelming was I didn't hit my parlay on FanDuel. So, other than that, and the thing that kept me from hitting my parlay, I think it was, let me check it out, mostly because Ja Morant had left the game early and didn't score. But I had Ja Morant down to score over 26.5, and then I had Dillon Brooks to score 18.5 or more. So my parlay missed, but other than that, it was a good night. Now, some things that we had to look out for. The guy that came into this series as a certified Grizz killer, and I told you his stats were out of control against the Grizzlies for 4 games. But in those 4 games, there was a man, a Canadian, that was not playing in those games. His name is Dillon Brooks, and he has cut the water off for D'Angelo Russell, the snitch, as we call him here. We've cut off his water. Dillon Brooks has made it his mission, and I think D'Angelo Russell, who was shooting something like crazy 55, 45, 90 against the Grizzlies during the regular season, in 4 games, is shooting, I think, 5 for 22. I'm not going to even go to the rest of his stats. Doesn't matter. Dillon has took him out of the game series so far. Anthony Edwards had another pretty decent game. Karl Anthony Towns, putting the small on him, just disrupted his game. Looked like he did against the Clippers, except for he didn't have the foul trouble. So the blueprint for beating this team so far, I don't know what they'll do in game 3, because it seems like to me Timberwolves have to do something. They can't go in with the same game plan and expect it to work and just hope they hit shots, because Patrick Beverley has been neutralized by Ja Morant. Karl Anthony Towns is now neutralized by the smalls. D'Angelo Russell is neutralized by Dillon Brooks. Jared Vanderbilt is neutralized by his talent. And all they have left is Anthony Edwards, the budding superstar, who ain't going to be neutralized except by missing shots. That's the only way you're neutralizing him. So, Malik Beasley, he's still a worry. Didn't get the shots up like he did the last time. They were on that ass this game. Didn't let him get up all the 3-pointers that he wants to. So, like I said, we got game 3. The question that we're asking right now as Grizz fans is, has the Steven Adams experiment for this series been abandoned completely? Will we see Kyle Anderson start in game 3 on the road? I hope we do. Jaren Jackson, Finally got some threes to fall. Went 4 for 7 from deep. Jaren Jackson also was a robust plus 24, plus 21. Ja Morant led the team. Him and Kyle Anderson plus 24. Desmond Bain was also plus 21. Dylan Brooks was plus 7. Steven Adams played 2 minutes, 50 seconds, and was a minus 1. Yeah. He was the only one that was a minus. Even the bench guys broke even. So, yeah. Encouraging game. Melton hit 2 threes, but he was still 2 for 8. Most of those misses came during the garbage time when he was in there with Santi's little helpers, and Santi wasn't there to lead them. Zaire Williams, 3 for 5 from the field, 1 for 3 from three-point line, 6 for 6 from the free throw line. He had a steal and a block, steal and a rebound. 13 points for the rookie, who's in the playoff rotation, getting real playoff rotation minutes as the backup small forward, sometimes shooting guard. And I just like to say I really like what I see. I really like what I see from Zaire. Looks like he's just grown up over this season. Coach Jenkins put him under the fire all season long, had him guarding the other teams, especially when Dylan Brooks was hurt and he was starting. They would have him guarding the other team's best perimeter defender for good or for bad, no matter how it was turning out. He got roasted some nights. I mean, D'Angelo Russell roasted him, barbecued him crispy in at least one game. I mean, just played him off the floor, basically. He was a monster against Zaire Williams. So, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention the hero of Game 2, a guy who is forever goated in postseason Grizzly play, Mr. Xavier Tillman Sr., who was 6 for 7 from the floor, 0 for 1 from three-point line, 1 for 1 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, only 1 turnover, plus 5. He basically almost matched Karl Towns' production. Played a great game. Looked like he did last season, especially in the play-in games against Golden State, with his ability to switch, board, block out, challenge shots, no matter who the opposing player was. And that's the issue that Minnesota's going to have going forward if Adams isn't in the lineup. Between Kyle Anderson, Xavier Tillman, Brandon Clark, and Jaren Jackson, all 4 of the bigs can switch onto their smalls with no issue. They can switch and challenge shots and keep them out of the lane. And they get help from the other big that's on the floor. And they get help from the other guys, ducking in. So it's going to be an issue for the Timberwolves going forward. Speaking of Mr. Clark, he ended up having a Brandon Clark game, 5 of 8 from the field, 3 of 5 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. He didn't get a block, which is un-Brandon Clark of him. Kyle Anderson didn't even have a Kyle Anderson type game. 1 for 4 from the field. He only played 18 minutes. But he had 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and was plus 24 in 18 minutes and only scored 2 damn points. Man, I'm just going to tell you that sometimes you got to watch the little things in a game. Kyle Anderson had a great defensive game. Dylan Brooks had a great defensive game and a poor offensive game. Couldn't get his 3-ball to fall. Was open 5 from 3, but was still plus 17. Had 4 assists for Dylan Brooks, 4 assists. So, yeah, all in all, it's a successful game. We still got to take care of business in Game 3. Got to get home court back. I still have the Grizzlies in 5. I think the Grizzlies got the opportunity to be able to throw a knockout punch in Game 3. And the Timberwolves don't look like they got much. I mean, they're going to have some fight left at home. But if they can knock them out, get that home crowd out of the game, I think the Timberwolves might fold at home. But it's going to be hard because that team is very, very talented. It's like them and the New Orleans Pelicans, who also stole a win in Phoenix. Those teams have a lot of offensive talent. And when you have a lot of offensive talent, you always have a chance because your guys can just go off. I mean, you got D'Angelo, Cat, Ant, Beasley. That's 4 capable offensive players that can go off any game. Any of them capable of scoring 30 points. So the Grizzlies still got to be on a Grizzly, pun intended. They have to be on their Grizzly come Thursday night in Minneapolis. Because if you saw the play-in game versus the Clippers, that crowd is going to be bananas. Their fans are going to go crazy. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good atmosphere. It's going to be another chance for the young Grizzlies team to prove that they are really a contender and not just a good story during the regular season. So, this is your boy, Memphis X. This is iTalkHoops. Please subscribe to my channel. Like I said, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the beginning of next season. We got a lot of stuff planned for the playoffs as far as doing videos. I'm going to try to get these videos up to you every day from here to the start of the season. And like I said, I got a lot of ideas for this channel. And if you got any ideas that you would like to give me, please put them in the comments section. I would love to hear them. Some things that you would like to do. Maybe you want to be one of the fans, a fan that I interview, whether you're a Grizzly fan or a fan of an opposing team. I might interview you, because I think getting a fan's perspective from a fan to a fan is very interesting because I think the conversation among NBA fans, especially on social media and online, sometimes can be very toxic until you narrow it down because and find you a good community, and you're usually going to have a paywall on that community to talk hoops with, and then you can get some real good, sensible conversations. There's a lot of good teams with, good fan bases that have good conversations going. And I would like to talk to some of y'all as the postseason, off season, next season rolls around. But until the next one, peace. I'm out.